Good evening and welcome to this edition of the Evening News for today, Monday, May 23, 2022. I am Jemima Holmes. Thank you for tuning in. In the headlines tonight, 200 acres rice under threat in CANJE. Emergency help sent to regions 5 and 9 as floodwaters rise. Guyana TT sign MOU for removal of trade barriers and enhanced cooperation. Private sector LAUDS move. Brazilian state wants in on CARICOM'S food security task force. Invest in hotels, businesses along Linden to MABURA road. EDGHILL tells Lindeners. And armed bandits beat raw PARFAITE HARMONIE family. Now for the news in detail. Close to 200 acres of rice in East CANJE Berbice is under threat as water continues to rise in the CANJE River due to the consistent rainfall over the past few days. Rice farmers who operate along the 8 villages spanning from Speculation to Divester are the ones affected. The area, which is commonly referred to as New Forest, has an estimated 2,500 acres under rice cultivation. Our Berbice correspondent Andrew Carmichael has the lead story tonight.
One of the largest farmers in that community is Gavaskar Sheriff, who cultivates 500 acres of rice at New Forest. About 80 acres of mature paddy still remains in the field to be harvested, but the floodwaters have taken over the field. Water was on Saturday riding over a closed sluice leading from the CANJE River and pouring into the farmer's rice field. Residential areas are also being affected. Livestock farmers have released their animals to find higher grounds and find food. Sheriff says there is nothing he can do to stop the cows and sheep from feasting on his rice, which he might not be able to harvest.
And the cockador them from other estates them start bringing the water and overtop the dam them and run over and start flood the place up. We have no alternative but the cockador them for the past 5 years, them cockador been just like that. Nobody fixing them. So this is the current situation.
So what's going to happen to this rice here?
Well, as this stage right there right now, it's like the ending part of it, the ending stage. I don't think we can do anything to this right now because the water are right up, and there's no way we can get out this water for now because the June month rain is coming and I don't see a way getting the water out.
Ganesh Ramsarup, who has harvested one set of his rice, still has 16 acres to reap, but it is all underwater as well. His grain carts are still in the field and a combine got stuck in the mud on Saturday as he desperately tried to harvest rice in several inches of water.
You start up there right now, you can't cut the rice with it now. The wave I go push down the rice. So all is there under threat.
When this water started coming up?
Like about 3 to 4 days now. Start to raise up right.
As it looks, what is likely to happen with this rice?
Well, to me this look hard. This is under serious threat. We doubt whether we can get this rice anymore.
Meanwhile, some farmers have been able to reap all of their rice, like Roy Kanai. He has already gone back into the crop, but the entire 15-acre plot is now inundated.
Due to the coconut repair, the creek water, the high tide come and flood me out all the time. I can't get drainage to this rice grow out. This is the condition on the right now. Losing. They're in a losing battle right now, fight. Invest money and you can't know if you'll get it out, get back out of it.
The reason for this coconut is to separate the CANJE creek water and the heavy rainfall to get the water out of the cultivation. All we need and we asking for is to make back the cockador, right? And the farmer survive.
But with the height of the CANJE River,
yeah, but
even if this cockador is made, would water be able to go out?
When the water be on the last falling before the tide come up back the washing tide, with the sketch an hour or two blowing, or at least it's something you get in and getting nothing. And now it's spring tide, so the creek can't go down the low.
Andrew Carmichael, The Evening News.
Andrew Carmichael joins us once again to report this time that emergency assistance has been sent to Maikoni in Region 5 following a rise of water in some communities as a result of heavy rainfall experienced over recent days. Flood relief hampers have been distributed to the affected residents, and several excavators were also dispatched to affected areas following persistent rains on Sunday. Let's have a look.
The areas affected include Abari, Calcutta, Catherine, Recess, Novar, Dundee, EDGHILL, and Huntley. Machinery was reportedly sent to the communities on Sunday evening. Regional Chairman Victor Ramphel says the Regional Democratic Council is spearheading the operation and is receiving assistance from the MMA and the National Drainage and Irrigation Authority, NDIA.
NDIA is deploying a mobile pump to the area to assist with drainage. So that's the most recent update. Resources were mobilized from the RDC and also assistance from MMA and NDIA would have seen over 5 excavators deployed to the area to assist in cleaning of clogged drains and channels. Also, proper monitoring of the sluices in the area is being done, and every effort from the RDC and the governmental level is being done to ensure that the water is receding on time and for the livelihood of persons to be back to normalcy. Also, NARI and other agencies were engaged to meet and assess the damages that were done to cash crop and other farming within the area.
Meanwhile, the National Agricultural Research and Extension Institute, NARI, the Guyana Rice Development Board, GRDB, the Guyana Livestock and Development Authority, GLDA, along with other agencies have been engaged to assess the damages done to cash crop and other farmers within the affected area. Apart from the heavy and continuous rainfall, the current spring tide has resulted in a slower level of drainage.
Some of these areas, the water has already receded. CDC was also engaged, and cleaning hampers will be distributed to those households that were affected. We continue to monitor the situation closely.
Only last week, Ramphel told the media that the regional administration was focusing on the entire region, including the residential areas, to have drains cleared.
A number of drains, canal trenches and so were cleared, and we are continuing to be prepared for any eventuality where there is abnormal rainfall. We know that in some cases we may not be able to have full control.
Andrew Carmichael for Evening News.
The Civil Defense Commission has reported significant flooding in several communities in the Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo region, resulting in the relocation of some families. Due to the consistent rainfall in the area, water levels continue to rise from the deep south to the South Pacaraimos, affecting both households and farmlands. The Lethem Town Council, with support from other agencies, has set up a shelter to house up to 7 families at the Tabatinga Sports Complex in Lethem. Severely impacted residents were relocated to that facility today. Additionally, the CDC has activated its Regional Disaster Risk Management Center to serve as a secondary shelter to accommodate more displaced persons. The Commission is also working with regional and municipal authorities to deliver water purification tablets, water containers, cleaning hampers, and other essential supplies. 2 small engine boats will also be deployed by the CDC to aid the RDC's response efforts. The Hydrometeorological Service forecasts significant and consistent rainfall countrywide for the next 24 hours, and as such, the CDC, along with relevant agencies, are monitoring all administrative regions. Rainfall will measure at least 2 inches in southern Guyana and 1 inch in the north. Residents of low-lying flooded and flood-prone areas are urged to be vigilant and take precautions where necessary. A memorandum of understanding has been signed between Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago, with the two countries agreeing to work with each other in eradicating trade, non-tariff barriers, as well as in the areas of infrastructure development and transportation. Gerald Bryan has the details.
The signed copies of the MOU were exchanged at State House between Foreign Ministers Hugh Todd and Dr. A. Marie Brown of Trinidad. Meanwhile, President Dr. Irfan Ali and Trinidadian Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley bore witness to the occasion. In the MOU, the two parties committed to work together on the removal of barriers to the trade of agricultural produce throughout the region. This includes phytosanitary standards. President Ali explained that the group has agreed on an aggressive strategy moving forward to achieve food security.
As President Rowley would have said many times over the last few days, developing a model, a framework through which the entire agri-food system, agri-food business system will evolve into a mainstream economic and social activity backed importantly by political will and inclusive of the private sector participation. And I think that is how, and when I say private sector here, the farmers and the farming community and the persons who are in that productive line are an integral part of that private sector community I'm speaking about. So our discussions with Trinidad and Tobago has been very focused. It has been very positive and forward-looking.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Rowley expressed support for Ali's utterances. According to Rowley, it is important that they change their supply and business model, lest history repeats itself.
I want to associate myself with every phrase that was uttered here this morning by President Ali. And I want to say to the people of Guyana and the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the wider CARICOM that we are limited only by our own vision and our own commitment to do what has to be done. Once we commit ourselves to do what has to be done to improve our circumstances, nothing will prevent us from achieving success. On the other hand, if we are timid, if we are defensive, if we are malicious, if we are uncaring, then time will pass us by.
One of the safeguards is a high-level bilateral commission that will be established to overlook the implementation of the agreement. The commission will include high-level members of the government and private sector. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley assures that his government has not taken any aggressive position on Guyana's local content laws, which were the subject of much wrangling between the private sectors of the two countries earlier this year. Here is Gerald Bryan once again with more.
Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley was asked about Guyana's local content laws during a joint press conference with President Dr. Irfan Ali in Georgetown on Sunday. Rowley noted that they have no intent at present in challenging the local content laws and whether they infringe on the Treaty of Chaguaramas.
What the government of Trinidad and Tobago tried to do is not to view it through negative lenses, but to understand what Guyana is trying to do. And from that standpoint, we have not aggressively taken any position to put the Guyanese objective under any litmus test. We do rely very heavily on the cooperation that is written and embodied in that MOU, and also understand that whatever our intentions are, those intentions are codified in a treaty called the Treaty of Chaguaramas. So there's no need to get at each other's throats and start, misrepresenting intentions and creating a negative environment.
At the same time, he did not rule out the possibility of the matter being brought before the court for legal interpretations. This, he noted, is normal.
If interpretations in a court of law is required, that is normal in these matters. How many times you see in the United States, the administration taking the government to court or states taking the federal government to court, because these are, as President Ali says, these are live things. What we hope not to happen is individuals going off on a frolic of their own and seeking to control the narrative into a nothingness for us. Which is why I asked you before, try and winnow out who is talking, what they're saying, and focus only on the value of what is being said.
Trinidad and Tobago itself has had local content laws for decades to protect its oil industry, while Guyana only signed its local content bill into law in December 2021. Early this year, however, it was revealed that the CARICOM private sector organization was mulling a challenge to Guyana's laws. Gerald Bryan, The Evening News.
Meanwhile, several key private sector agencies in Guyana have lauded Sunday's signing of the MOU that seeks to enhance cooperation and address constraints such as trade barriers between Guyana and Trinidad and Tobago. Details in this Amar Prasad report.
The Private Sector Commission, in a statement, welcomes the signing of the MOU signed by the two governments to better trade relations. The PSC said that through its 23 business services organizations, it will be taking steps to engage the private sector in Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the governments of both countries, to establish a roadmap to move these commitments forward. The PSC stated, I quote, "We therefore call on the Trinidad and Tobago private sector to work towards enhanced trade and economic relations and fully collaborate with Guyana's private sector and the government in a manner that will allow for a higher level of efficiency in areas of interest to both sides." End quote. The PSC also anticipated that establishment of a high-level bilateral commission. On the other hand, the Guyana Oil and Gas Energy Chamber expressed its satisfaction with this movement by the two CARICOM neighbors. The Chamber's President Manoram Prasad said, I quote, "COGEC is pleased to see the high-level political commitment in achieving the goals set out in the MOU between the two countries and by extension the wider regional integration agenda. In particular, COGEC looks forward to continue working with the government of Guyana in terms of shaping the energy landscape of Guyana and with its Trinidadian counterpart in this regard." End quote. Meanwhile, the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, who has been pushing for a step in this direction for some time now, also lauded the 2-month timeline put in place to ensure progress with the removal of the trade barriers. I quote, "The Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry welcomes the public commitment by the government of Trinidad and Tobago to work with the government of Guyana to remove trade barriers between the two territories. The Chamber notes that it is intended for a commission as well as a timeline to be established for the removal of these barriers. The GCCI views this as a step in the right direction." End quote. Earlier this week, the GCCI had urged the Guyana government to desist from signing any agreement with TNT government unless the long-standing non-tariff trade barriers that prevent Guyanese producers to export or transit shipments of certain products in the Twin Island Republic are removed. For the Evening News, Amar Prasad.
Coming up on the other side of the break, invest in hotels, businesses along Linden to MABURA Road. EDGHILL tells Lindeners. Armed bandits beat rob PARFAITE Harmonie family. Please stay tuned.
Plans are moving forward for the establishment of the landmark gas-to-energy project. Gas will be piped from the Stabroek block operations to shore. The project is expected to cut electricity rates by more than half and deliver significant benefits to Guyanese.
Sunshine snacks, cheese balls, grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We are crunch on a cheese ball. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls, grab a sunshine snack, cheese balls. Love cheese in every bite, flavor in every crunch. Extra cheese in me love it so much. Love cheese in every bite. Grab a sunshine, double cheese balls. We are crunch on a cheese ball. Daddy nickel pick, double cheese balls. Sunshine snacks, cheese balls.
Grab a Sunshine Snacks cheese puffs today. More cheese, more flavor.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Catch the Band makes their return to Guyana after 2 years. This Independence Night, Thursday, 26th of May, at the Marriott parking lot for the El Dorado Stinging Nettles. Rum inclusive. Yes, yes, yes. And the band performing all his hit songs while you enjoy the world's best rum, El Dorado. Free all night long at the Marriott parking lot.
Early bird $5,000, VIP $30,000.
Brought to you by King Leo Promotions, Hits and Jams, and the Cricket Carnival Committee. The road to Cricket Carnival begins here.
At John Lewis Styles, we carry only first quality men's and women's clothing, footwear, and accessories. As authorized dealers, our items come directly from the manufacturing brands and are available in all sizes and colors. What we sell was never on display in another store. It's time you know the truth about what you buy. Come visit us on Waterloo Street. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Pack your coolers and link your crew. We're heading to Marriott Beach for the first Beach Cooler Fed of the year. Touchdown Cooler Beach Party. Touchdown, the official Independence Weekend Kickoff Party. Wednesday, 25th of May, with a live performance by the hottest female artists, Patrice Roberts, Nikita, Vanilla, and Diana Chapman. It's coolers, drinks, and lots of soca. Early bird tickets $2,000, general $3,000, and stage front $10,000. Brought to you by the Cricket Carnival Committee, King Leo Promotions, and Hits and Jams Entertainment. Wednesday, 25th of May. Remember, we drink in water and mind and we own business. This Independence Weekend.
Get in the game, get in the game, get in the game with Buster, play.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, Xbox X Series. Just purchase any bottle of Buster, Turbo, Altitude, Classic, or Viva and look for the code on the bottle. Then visit Buster Instagram and Facebook at Buster Guyana for more details.
Looking to bring your dream home to reality or simply taking on a home improvement project? Then National Hardware Limited is where you should start. Let us put that touch to your home. Choose from over 1,000 Berger Paint original hues for any surface. We are known for our trusted brands such as Westinghouse, Philips, Satco, Rubbermaid, Pyrex, Gibson Home, and so much more. National Hardware Limited, your do-it-best store, located in downtown Georgetown and industrial site Rheinveld.
Welcome back. You're watching the evening news. The Linden to MABURA Road project is a part of the puzzle that will open access to markets, enhance tourism, and boost connectivity beyond the coastline. As the project comes on stream, with the signing of the contract last week, Lindeners are poised to capitalize on the flurry of development that will manifest along this route, should they take up the opportunities that are presented in the immediate future. Find out more in this Rupasine Ryan report.
Public Works Minister EDGHILL envisioned during the recent contract signing that the road will be frequented every day, especially for the transport of goods. And with the anticipated rise in tourism in the region, he noted that Linden does not have enough hotel capacity. As such, the minister urged the township of Linden to align and benefit from this development by investing in hotels and other services that will be critically needed.
I want you to envisage 100 trucks, containerized trucks, per day minimum. From Brazil, they have to come through Linden. You better get your restaurant open. They will need fuel stations. They will have to be serviced. They will have to have rest stops. Along this road, there are 9 rest stops that will be built. And you know, if you got 100 trucks coming through with goods, that is only the business. But what about the tourists? You don't have enough hotel rooms in Linden to accommodate tourists that will be coming as a result of this road.
Potential housing areas will also be opened once the road is completed, and thereafter creating a wider need for services such as hardware, quarrying, lumbering, construction, supermarkets, hotels, among others.
It's time for people to make investments. With this road being open and the development, because wherever you build a road, people will be able to go and live. So you will only have 47 and 58, you can hear 16 miles and 13 miles, and development is going to start happening along the road.
The $190 million contract was signed last Friday with a Brazilian company for the construction of the 121-kilometer road. With a 7.2-meter wide carriageway, the Linden to MABURA road will feature a cycle and pedestrian lane measuring 2 meters wide, along with 10 bus stops outfitted with ramps for persons with disabilities. Connectivity to Brazil is also an advantage of this network once in place. Rupasine Ryan, The Evening News.
3 armed bandits stormed the PARFAITE Harmonie West Bank Demerara home and terrorized the family of 4 before taking off with over $1 million in articles, including cash and jewelry. The incident occurred sometime around 20:45 hours at the PARFAITE Harmonie residence, where the victims operate a grocery shop. Reports are that 46-year-old Suresh Balram and his 40-year-old wife, along with their 2 teenage daughters, were in the living room of the lower flat of the house when 3 men, all armed with guns, confronted them and held them at gunpoint. One of the perpetrators dealt the woman a lash to her face with the weapon, while the husband was gun-butted to his head. The family was then forced to lay face down on the floor, and their hands were tied behind their backs. The armed men subsequently ransacked the house and grocery shop before making good their escape. The victims eventually managed to untie themselves and alerted the police. Among the items stolen were 3 cell phones, $60,000 Guyana currency, and US $125, a quantity of phone cards totaling $80,000, and a quantity of gold jewelry valued at $1.2 million. The couple was taken to the West Demerara Regional Hospital, where they were treated and sent away. Investigations are ongoing. The Guyana government, which presently chairs the CARICOM'S Ministerial Task Force on Food Security, will be lobbying the regional body to bring the Brazilian state of Roraima on board during the discussions. This was after investors from the border state expressed interest in being integrated into CARICOM'S vision of reducing its food import bill by 25% by 2025. Let's have a look.
On Saturday, President Dr. Irfan Ali led a group of heads of state to the border town of Letem, where they met with several investors from the state of Roraima and other parts of Brazil. At a press conference on Sunday, the Guyanese leader pointed out that there is an abundance of opportunities that not only Guyana but the wider Caribbean region can tap into as a part of its push to achieve food security.
You're talking here about a state that is producing onion, soya oil, wheat, all the grains that we can utilize in CARICOM for all our food input needs. All the fruits that can go into our productive sector. But more importantly, everything they do on their side can be done on our side of the border. They have offered their technology, they have offered their investment, they have offered their partnership, and they have offered their commitment. In exchange, we have committed to taking to the heads a proposal that the state of Roraima be part of the Ministerial Task Force on Agriculture from CARICOM.
According to the president, the investors were invited to be a part of an upcoming forum of the Ministerial Task Force in August in Trinidad. He further noted that the investors want to be integrated into CARICOM's vision, not only from a supply perspective, but also at a productive level.
They want to be integrated into this vision of CARICOM. They want to be part of this. And I think it is an excellent opportunity for a win-win. Excellent opportunity for a win-win. If we, for example, enter into a partnership to get the embryos for the Angus cattle, and we get enough embryos for the whole region, the cattle we have now, in 1 year, when we talk about low-hanging possibilities, and if I was in the private sector, I would have gone after this like a crazy bull. In 1 year, we can double our production. 1 year, we can double our production throughout the region with quality horse.
President Ali, along with several CARICOM heads of government and other regional officials, participated in a Caribbean Roraima investors luncheon at the Santa Fe farm in North Rupununi on Saturday. The Brazilian investors, who represent half of the production capacity of the state of Roraima, made presentations on their capacity and capabilities, and spoke of their intentions to collaborate with Guyana and the wider CARICOM region in agriculture. For the evening news, Amar Prasad.
The Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit is warning the public, particularly parents and teachers, to be on the lookout for popular cookies and candies laced with marijuana. Head of CANU, James Singh, on Sunday disclosed that they have discovered and seized packets of marijuana-infused cookies, disguised as Chips Ahoy, a knockoff of Chips Ahoy. As such, he is urging the public to be aware of the deceptive marketing of these and other popular products. Persons who come across such items are asked to make reports to CANU or the police. The Anti-Narcotics Unit has been clamping down on edibles being traded illegally on the local market. In an effort to bring government services to the people, the Ministry of Finance and the National Insurance Scheme held an outreach in Region 5 on Sunday to assist the community with their NIS-related issues. Shane Marks tells us more.
Leading the outreach in the Maaika-Berbice region was Senior Finance Minister Dr. Ashni Singh, who said the initiative is part of the PPPC government's effort of bringing services to the people of Guyana.
This is also an important manifestation of our government's approach of bringing government to the people, bringing services to the people. You know, we've been doing outreaches, not just NIS outreaches, but political, governmental outreaches at the level of the president, at the level of the vice president, at the ministerial levels, to be able to hear firsthand what the concerns and priorities of the people are, and to be able to address those concerns directly. So these NIS outreaches are really just another example of our efforts to bring government to the people and to bring the delivery of government services directly to the people.
The finance minister said that the outreach to address the backlogs of issues at the NIS.
That process of addressing these institutional weaknesses is ongoing, but even as we do so, we are doing these outreaches throughout the country to address individual problems so that we can help to clear out the backlog of problems. Some of them can be dealt with at a managerial level, some require board intervention, some require policy direction.
Meanwhile, Region 5 residents were appreciative for the outreach by the ministry to address their concerns.
My name is Mahindra Prasad. I'm a farmer worker of Gaisuku, and first of all, let me say thanks to the government that he bring the NIS to the people, and I really appreciate that, because in this kind of activities that we find that our problems are being heard or being served.
Shane Marks, the Evening News.
We'll now take a look at the bridge reports.
The Demerara Harbour Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Tuesday, May 24 at 0:30 for a period of 1.5 hours. Meanwhile, Silvie's River Bridge is scheduled to be closed on Tuesday, May 24 at 12:05 for a period of 1.5 hours.
Nicholson Harvey champion Independence 10K. This and more coming up in the Sportcast, sponsored by Macor.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
Wine, 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 soca and wine, soca and wine, soca and wine.
One of the most fashionable events returns. Soca and Wine Day Party. Fashion, decor, atmosphere, and the widest assortment of the world's best wines. It's an event like no other. Soca and Wine Day Party. Choose your wine. Fast wine, slow wine, hard wine, sweet wine, dry wine, or Tifa wine. On Sunday, May 29 from 12 noon at the Marriott parking lot. Early bird tickets $5,000.
Wine, 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 soca and wine.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. Silvie's Waste Management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanups, or construction sites. It's simple. Step 1, just pick up the phone and give us a call. Step 2, we deliver the skip bin size of your choice. Step 3, load the skip with all of your junk. And finally, Step 4, we take it all away. It's that simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there's no job that's too big or too small. Call Silvie's Waste Management today at 218-1455 or 219.
Catch the Band makes their return to Guyana after 2 years. This Independence Night, Thursday, 26th of May, at the Marriott parking lot for the El Dorado Stinging Nettles. Rum inclusive. Yes, yes, yes.
What's gonna be a people reaching the nice
And the band performing all his hit songs while you enjoy the world's best rum, El Dorado. Free all night long at the Marriott parking lot.
Early bird $5,000, VIP $30,000.
Brought to you by King Leo Promotions, Hits and Jams, and the Cricket Carnival Committee. The road to Cricket Carnival begins here.
Your child needs nutrients every day. Enfagrow has DHA and iron, which supports your child's mental development. Enfagrow has components which cow's milk does not contain. Support your toddler's growth and complement their diet with Enfagrow. Let's fuel the wonder.
This product is not intended to be a substitute for breast milk. Mental development depends on various factors such as stimulation and adequate nutrition. Commercial cow's milk does not contain DHA but contains calcium and other nutrients.
With
unlimited games to choose from, you can be a winner with Superbet. Choose from our virtual sports, live betting, sports betting, live roulette, and much, much more. Place your bets at www.superbet.gy or visit any one of our agents. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 18 and over. Play responsibly.
Your coolers and link your crew. We're heading to Marriott Beach for the first Beach Cooler Fed of the year. Touchdown Cooler Beach Party. Touchdown, the official Independence Weekend kickoff party. Wednesday, 25th of May, with a live performance by the hottest female artists, Patrice Roberts, Nikita, Vanilla, and Diana Chapman. It's coolers, drinks, and lots of soca. Early bird tickets $2,000, general $3,000, and stage front $10,000. Brought to you by the Cricket Carnival Committee, King Leo Promotions, and Hits and Jams Entertainment. Wednesday, 25th of May. Remember, we drink in water and mind and we own business this Independence Weekend.
Ultra Lubricants, the leading lubricants for tropical conditions, has been serving you for over 40 years, extending the life cycle of your vehicle's engine by protecting it from wear and corrosion, removes impurities, and reducing frequent vehicle oil changes. Ultra Lubricants is for every market, from two-wheel light vehicle to trucks, construction, agriculture equipment, mining activities, and boating. Ultra Lubricants, world-class lubricants for tropical conditions. Distributed by Industrial Supply of Guyana, Inc. and available nationwide.